What's up? Welcome to a new episode of Movie Schmovie. This is episode 495. My name is
Wow.
Steve, one of the co-hosts of the show, and as always, I'm joined by
Ron.
And John.
just straight into the name. Nothing else to say today.
Right, nothing else to say. Why is that? Why is that?
Well, I think we've done like what Ross calls a pivot. Pivot. This is a real.
I thought we were on a break.
Real time. Yeah. We got a little bit of a sidestep here. We're gonna push our required viewing to next week so that we're all synced up and we've all seen Badlands. So you got a little more time to watch that choice if you didn't get to check it out by the time this episode comes out, because we're going to do it next week instead.
Yeah, if you didn't have time to watch a 95-minute movie in the last week, we're giving you an extra week.
Giving you an extra bunches and bunches of 95 minutes to get caught up. So in light of that, we're trying to say, okay, well, what can we talk about today? None of us really saw much. I mean, we saw things probably sporadically, things maybe we've been watching already. But kind of looking at the landscape, just noticed, like Ronald mentioned in our just kind of chat here before we were recording, that there's just been a ton of trailers dropping. So It seems like a good opportunity to do a little catch up on some trailers, or a trailer park episode, or a trailer episode, or something. I don't know. Just to talk about some of these new ones that came out, especially because a couple really big ones, maybe one mammoth sized one came out, or at least the expectations for the movie are that large. They came out this week, and
That's
even
what she said.
Which word on the street is what she said. Yeah, so we're going to talk about, I think we picked, I don't know, actually a pretty decent bunch of trailers that just came out. Some literally came out today as we're about to record. So just kind of fit it in just in time. And so we're going to just go down some movies. I don't know, Ronald, you want to throw one out to start the conversation off, and we'll kind of maybe save the biggest one to the end?
Yes. I'm gang.
Gang.
So I wanted to talk about the Christopher Rock directed Misty Green.
The other Christopher is the director.
Yeah, Christopher
Not
Rock.
Not of the Nolan variety.
Yeah. Christopher Rock, the comedian, who wrote and directed a A24 movie called Misty Green, about an actress that isn't old, but is getting older than 20, and about how Hollywood treats women of that age. It looks really interesting. Daniel Kaluuya, Rosalind Aleazer, who is from one of John's favorite shows.
If you're going to say like gang every time A24 comes up, I should say like horse every time somebody from Slow Horses comes up.
I was going to say Slow Horses.
She's great on that show. If you've watched that show, she plays Louisa, who's like one of the best characters.
Yeah.
Okay. Does she have a British accent in real life?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I gotta watch it. See, I didn't know you should have enticed me with this woman. I would have.
Yeah, I could have sent you a screenshot of her rather than saying Gary Oldman's fat and farts a lot.
I say farts all the time.
Yeah. Like, oh, she's in it. I'm like, oh yes, yes, I will watch it. But yeah, it looks really good. I like that Chris Rock is taking such a big swing. I mean, it's something a lot more grounded than I would have expected it to be. But maybe that's kind of what he likes. It looks the cast looks incredible. Daniel Kaluuya's come back
baby.
It's been 4 years, right?
Has it been? I guess I didn't notice until you guys were saying that right before we started recording that we kind of missed him. But I hadn't thought about the fact that we haven't seen him in anything for a while. So,
yeah, you go off of an Oscar win and a Jordan Peele blockbuster to just not being in movies for 4 years.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
All right.
But even the little clips of him in the trailer, like you could just like, he is that magnetic. Like he is, I don't know what his character, like, he plays her brother, it looks like in the film, but the scenes that you see him, you can immediately, like, you just see that actor, that performance, that, like, he's a pretty special actor. And it's
I was going to say, as much
like,
as we think actors don't go away for that long, it's not that uncommon for a certain type of actor to, like, hang out until the role or the project that they want comes along. Like, once you reach a certain level, it's not uncommon. And I wonder if we're also going to hit, like, a year where, now he's in 5 movies this year, like it's happening with Anne Hathaway and Zendaya and Robert Pattinson this year, where it seems like, they have they're in everything right now. you know.
right.
So I wonder if we're going to have a Daniel Kaluuya year, because I do feel like there was a period where it was like that. Like, oh man, he's popping up everywhere. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, Jordan Peele just needs to make another movie and put him front and center in it. That's what needs to happen.
That's simple, right?
Yeah, I mean, this movie looks good. It looks a little melodramatic. I think my only issue with movies like this, and it's not a movie issue really, it's a where the trailer ends and you go, I wonder what happens in that movie. I kind of feel like they give you a lot of what happens. So that's my only complaint about some of those trailers, is you sort of feel like the arc maybe too much from the trailer. But it does look good, and it looks the cast, there's some really great folks popping up in this. So
I also just love like a movie, or I think of like the studio, like just on the ground inside baseball business Hollywood stuff.
yeah.
Like I dig media like that. But even podcasts, like I love seeing things talking about the business, and
Me too.
this experience that this character has in the business as a woman, and a woman of color, and just like the characters that she's interacting with, and the kind of, it's such a mix and match version of like the people that you see in Hollywood, around Hollywood. And obviously Chris Rock probably has something interesting to say about that. So yeah, I think this trailer's pretty good. I'm definitely looking forward to this one. I didn't even know about this movie till Ronald mentioned it. I feel like I saw the name of this movie in an article that I read recently about Daniel Kaluuya having a movie coming out this year,
Mm-hmm.
but I did not know what the movie, like, I did not know like Chris Rock and the cat Topher Grace, Adam Driver, Anna Kendrick, Tracy Toms. Like, it's a pretty awesome cast. So
Do you think
yeah,
there are
it's
any
good.
G.I. Jane jokes in this movie?
Oof.
That's a good question.
I mean, it'd be great if he'd had one. I mean,
That's a really good question.
I mean, it's a Hollywood satire, so,
Yeah. I
or maybe
wonder
not
if you
satire. It's a Hollywood drama. But
you see she has an acting award or some kind of
yeah,
award.
yeah.
Maybe he writes it into that.
right.
Maybe that's where her
she won an award for G.I. Jane too.
that's where her career went wrong. She did something weird with G.I. Jane.
What if the whole movie Chris Rock is just going like, ow,
He's got like a weird like phantom pain on his face.
oof.
Yeah. All right, cool. So yeah, that comes out October 9th. So first trailer for that. So what do you got, John? You want to throw one out?
I will throw out. I wasn't thinking that this was going to come down to me. Which of the ones that we just watched do I feel like I can even lay claim to?
There's one. There's one that you can lay claim to, and you need to say it.
You're talking about the one that I just mentioned that you guys
Yeah.
watched? Well, this is not a
Yes.
movie I'm like particularly excited to see, but I thought
Doesn't
it was
need to be.
interesting. Talking about someone being back.
Yeah, there
This
you
is
go.
the first movie Johnny Depp has done since, or had come out since his, since he became a tabloid sideshow with his, defamation case and everything. And I don't know, I've never quite, like, whatever internal PR firm needs to rehab Johnny Depp hasn't done that for me. So he seems tainted goods to me in a weird way, but it is like he's gonna have to start popping back up in things. Even fucking Kevin Spacey's rooting around acting like it's time to come back. And with Johnny Depp, it was always a little bit more of a he said she said as far as how that played out. So this is the first project he's back in. Maybe even more interesting, the fact that Johnny Depp is in it, is the fact that it's a Ty West movie.
Yeah. Wow.
Ty West, who very recently directed like a really well-regarded episode of Widow's Bay. So he's kind of in that zone, that conversation that a lot of those genre directors go to genre television, when their film careers not so much
Right.
stall or dry up, but when they need to get some work. Brad Anderson, I remember, kind of went that way too. You saw him doing a lot of television work. But yeah, it looks like kind of a fun, interesting take on it, which is maybe an odd thing to say, because I do think Johnny Depp is kind of doing Johnny Depp. Like, it looks like we know what he's doing. We've kind of seen him do this kind of over the top comic grotesque character, but I can't tell from the trailer, like, what is the take here. It feels like it's doing something slightly different with the idea. So I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it because of Johnny Depp, but I also think it seems like a project that I would be I'm interested to see what it is. So yeah, the trailer kind of just put me off on the tone, and it kind of feels Tim Burton-y or something like that.
It does.
It's got that sort of comic, like comedy slash, like it's jokey ghoulishness is what it looks like we're gonna get.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Definitely
Post-
playing up the whole like I think they even say like the misfit, the king of misfit, or whatever they said in the trailer. Like all the characters he's played, like he's back for another one. Like he's the authority on like just playing up the Johnny Depp of it all, which I don't know what currency that has anymore, but I mean
Right.
maybe enough. I don't know. This is an interesting movie from Paramount coming out around Thanksgiving. I again slight awareness from it just about it being Johnny Depp's next movie, but did not know Ty West directing it was in the cards. But watching the trailer, I did really appreciate the little nod to Nightmare on Elm Street where the bed swallows him in the middle. I don't know if you picked up on that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was like, that's got to be a Ty West just getting an Elm Street thing in there with Johnny Depp in a bed as Ebenezer Scrooge. I was like, all right, that even if I don't like the movie, like I'll at least like that little Easter egg.
That's why that whole thing about Amber Heard shitting on the bed was so upsetting to him, because he's often inside the bed.
Yeah. When you're in there, you don't want to be shit on.
Really, you're down there going, "Whoa, hey!
I'm in here."
Amber, cool it." Wonder how many times he said that around the house.
So much. With his new accent. I don't know what that accent is.
His French accent that's been like lingering for a while.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, he's interesting, dude. I will pick. I'm going to mention. I think only because again, it's a new thing that I didn't know much about. I'm going to mention Other Mommy.
Ooh, yes.
I said this around earlier this week. This is a horror film coming out this fall. Well, actually, is it? Let me think. Is it? Let me make sure of the release date. Yeah, October 9th. Wow, same time as Misty Green. But this is Rob Savage, who kind of blew up during COVID with Host. But he has a new film that's coming out called Other Mommy, which is an adaptation of a novel that I was hearing a lot of people talk about yesterday when the trailer came out. But Jessica Chastain, Jade Duplass, basically this little girl kind of has like an encounter with some kind of entity in their home that comes out of the closet and is presented to her as like another version of her mother. Like it looks like Jessica Chastain, but it's this evil thing. And yeah, just a really, really effective trailer. And Ron, I don't think you made a joke. I don't know who said it about like Jessica Chastain, like with the mommy movies, or I don't know if I read that somewhere else. I don't know if it was one of you guys, but like all of them, like the Mama movie that she has, and the other Mother movie with Anne Hathaway, and now there's like this one, or the Good Mother. I forget. It came out a couple years ago with Anne Hathaway. But this is the hat trick for mommy movies for for Jessica Chastain. But a really creepy trailer, like a really
creepy,
effective trailer.
And just has a couple of moments that I think are really like landing with people or memeing. There's already a meme.
Yeah.
There's one image in the trailer that is already a meme. And you said you hadn't seen it before, or you'd seen it online. But I don't know if it's
You too. Yeah.
I don't know if it's like only attached to the Odyssey or
It
something,
is,
but
I
it's like
think. Somebody was talking about that.
Like it was the only trailer that when I went to see the Odyssey last week, it was the only trailer that they played.
Wow.
Which is kind of interesting. I guess with a long movie, they don't play as many trailers.
That is true. Sometimes they cut the length so they can have more screens to play the movie on.
But I'm just saying. So I think a lot of people saw this trailer this last weekend, and I think that may have hit that kind of saturation point, because when I saw it showing up online, I was like, oh yeah. Sometimes you see a trailer in the theater it's weird. Like that used to be how you saw trailers, but now
Sure.
you see them in the theater, and you're like, oh, I'm reacting to this. But if you were seeing it online, you would instantly start to see the reaction and the hype around it. So
Mm.
sometimes I don't know, is this movie registering with people? But this one was one I feel like people are. And yeah, the book, which is supposed to be really good, is called Incidents Around the House by
That's it.
Josh
Yeah.
Mallerman. And
Oh.
I have seen people who are fans of the book doing the usual book snob thing of like, this doesn't look like the book. But I don't think, I think we'll talk about this maybe more later, but like, I think I have it's not a hot take, it's just a take. Most of the time, when you judge a movie based on the trailer, you're wrong. I mean, most of the time, not so much when you judge it. You might say that looks good and then it's good. But if you think you know what's in the movie from the trailer, you're
Sure.
wrong most of the time.
Right.
I mean, nine
Right.
times out of
Right.
10, they're holding shit back. The trailer's very calculated to give you a certain thing.
Sure.
So if a movie has a lot of wacky stuff to show you, they can afford to show you some stuff in the trailer, but not nearly all. And I feel like this might be one of those that opens up a little bit. But
Mm.
it's also possible that the book got adapted slightly differently. It's a different name. I don't know. I mean, I've been meaning to read that book. I've heard of it and I've heard that it's good. So maybe by the time this comes out, I'll be the snob. I'll be the snob. Let me be the snob, RJ.
Oh, well, that is not books accurate. Oh boy.
This doesn't feel like paper in my hands.
Oh god.
All right. What's next? What, Ron, you want to pick one?
Yes. Damn, what is it called? The Too Many Cooks,
Oh,
Casper Kelly directed movie Buddy. That looks really crazy. There's a kids show with a unicorn, and it seems as though it existed in the zeitgeist and it disappeared for some reason. But then as the trailer goes on, it seems that these kids have disappeared and none of them have ever come back. So
Mm,
yeah, that looks scary. That concept is scary as hell. Because it
sure.
looks, what I really like is kind of grounded looking sets, like, and then the heightened sort of thing is from the acting versus things just looking kind of surreal.
Sure.
So it just looks like one of those ones that is going to go on for longer than it should, violence wise, creepiness wise. Because that Casper Kelly, I mean, for anybody that's ever seen Too Many Cooks, it goes on for way too long. It gets crazier and crazier and crazier, and goes
Right.
down this kind of tunnel of insanity and keeps getting crazier. So I'm expecting the same thing from this. So looks good. What do you guys think?
I'm watching it right now, so I'll
Oh,
let
okay.
Steve answer.
Yeah. I mean, I saw the first teaser for this, and it was like, what's happening? It's very, very, very odd, very weird. It kind of gave me like Channel Zero vibes, like the first season
Ooh, I
Yes.
love that show.
of it. And then I saw that Kristen Milotti is in it, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm in. And then I saw Topher Grace is in it. I was like, okay, I'm even more in. So Topher's covered two movies that we've talked about so far. This being the second one, and he's also a Misty Green. But and that Patton Oswalt's one of the voices of I guess one of the characters, or maybe the character. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. This looks creepy. It looks cool.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Producers from like it's got it up there like from Weapons and stuff like that. But this comes out relatively soon, like next like within a month. I think this is end of
Mm.
August or
Yeah.
something. Which again, like first teaser's coming out like a month and a half before. It's like I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but this looks like a pretty low impact, low investment. I don't know what the budget was on this, but uh I'm definitely excited to see what this actually is because the newer teaser is much more of like you hear the voiceover of like people talking about the show like in present
Yeah.
time. So these clips are are archival footage that apparently no one can find or no one knows about, but we're seeing it in the trailer. But Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued. But yeah, another kind of weird, odd. I'm not super familiar with Casper Kelly outside of Too Many Cooks, but I don't know what else he's done. But which I don't know if he actually has done anything else. But no, I'm sure he's done other things. But I'm saying like that I would know. Um, oh, Mandy. He wrote Mandy.
Hmm.
That's interesting. The Panos Cosmatos movie with Nick Cage.
Yeah.
I didn't
I mean,
realize
that
that
was weird
he's
and
one
had
of the
like
credited writers on it. Yeah.
world building stuff going on in it too, with
Yeah.
like the villain had like a music career, that kind of
Yes.
thing. So I
Yeah.
do think there
Yes.
is a kind of thing. It reminds me of I see the TV. Was it I saw the
I
TV
saw the,
glow?
I saw the TV glow.
I always forget the tense. That was
Yeah.
another one that had to do with that, like something you
Yes, that
remember from childhood
show.
that was
Yep.
like
Yep.
a niche thing that maybe you kind of, in the age of the internet, people forget. There was a long period of time where you might remember something you had watched when you were a kid and be like,
Right.
what was
Oh,
the thing with
absolutely.
the robot on the train and it had like a
Yeah, yeah,
blue
yeah.
mountain? And you wouldn't remember it. And then you would finally see the thing again, or someone would say, oh, yeah, Captain Happy's train time, and you go, oh, okay,
All,
cool.
all that for nothing. Yeah.
But I mean, like now we expect that somebody has it uploaded somewhere, or now we
Yeah.
expect that it's streaming somewhere, or that we can at least find
Absolutely.
all the information about it somewhere. So I think there is something where it's interesting that we're still getting juice out of this idea of like a sort of remembered thing that's pop cultural, that as a horror trope. And it's also fun. Like here's a guy who's most famous for, even though it was on Adult Swim, I guess. Too Many Cooks was. It had sort of a viral video kind of quality to it. So it's not the same thing as Backrooms or Obsession, kind of coming from that online space, but it is a kind of similar vibe of like it's a horror movie, or it looks like a horror movie that is coming from
Right.
a person who you would say made a viral comedy piece. But Too Many Cooks is definitely fucking disturbing.
Mm.
It's not hard to picture how that could turn into horror. So yeah, no, I think it looks really fun. And the voice cast, I remember hearing it's not just Patton Oswalt, it's a couple of other people too that are like good names.
Oh
So
yeah, Jamaica Collins is in
yeah,
it. Somebody else was mentioned as one of the. I recognized the name.
yeah, I did too.
Oh, the buddy. I recognized his face. I don't know what I know him from, but maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Sergey Zaravsky.
Oh, maybe
He
that's
looks
not
so
who I thought.
familiar. His IMDb. The image on his. Look him up. If you go to the listing for Buddy, the voice of Buddy, one of the photos on his profile is clearly from the film, and it's like of the unicorn in the woods, like with galls all around its face, a fire axe, like half burned, blood on him. Like it's
Oh
like,
my
oh shit,
god.
this is oh, Keegan Michael Key. He's listed in this photo. Is he in the film?
That might be
Yeah.
the person whose name I saw doing a
It
Oh,
voice.
says that
okay.
he's Buddy, but it also says another person's Buddy. Is it
Maybe
like
Oh, really?
someone's in costume and Keegan Michael Key's the voice or
okay?
something.
Yeah,
Oh, wow,
Could be
interesting.
like a David Prowse, James Earl
yeah,
Jones.
that's
Oh,
what it looks like.
that'd be wild.
Because yeah, you don't
It's
want to
weird. I
make
don't see him on
you
the
don't wish
IMDb
that on
though.
Keegan Michael Key. You don't want him on set in that fucking suit. He's earned the
Yeah.
right to roll into an air conditioned studio and do
Oh yeah,
ADR.
he's Dark Buddy.
Oh,
Buddy
Oh,
so it's
Buddy Dark
racist.
Buddy. Yeah.
this is gonna be strange.
Buddy Dark Buddy. And I guess, yeah, I don't know. Maybe Sergey is the actual guy in the suit. I don't know, but yeah, we'll find out August 28th.
Was it Brigsby Bear?
Brigsby
Brigsby
Bear.
That's another not analogous to this, but that's another like
Great
you know
movie.
the imagery of like a fake half remembered kids show or whatever.
Yeah.
That's one that I've been meaning to make my family watch. That I've just reminded myself. Note to me. Thanks, John.
You did so well.
You just like
Um. So does that mean it's Ronald's? Oh no, you just brought up Buddy.
Yeah. Just grab one, John.
Okay, I will grab the Clayface trailer,
Nice.
Ooh.
which got a little bit more plotty. We got a little bit more of what the movie is. This movie looks like it's going for sort of a legit, almost like body horror, personal tragedy kind of story. So
Yeah.
I'm really intrigued. And they did confirm, I believe this week, that the super, like I did not watch Creature Commandos, but I know that Clayface was on that show, and then he
Yeah.
was in super like comic book Clayface form, like a clay
Yeah.
blob man.
Yes.
And they have confirmed that that is the same Clayface as this
Oh,
character.
really?
Yes.
Wow.
So in other words, the suggestion is not, oh, we're going to keep this half grounded and it's going to be in this horror zone. It is sort of a horror movie, but it is intended to set up a very comic booky character. So
You kind of see it at the end of the
intrigued by that.
trailer.
Yeah, you kind of get a
like
hint, right?
a hint at it, at least.
Well, there was some talk. I think a lot of people. Here's my beef about people judging movies based on trailers. I'm going to side chain over to another trailer that I think we talked about before, so we don't need to mention it necessarily. But the werewolf trailer, the Robert Eggers trailer, I saw where some people were like, "I don't see any wolves in this trailer. I don't see any transformation in this trailer."
God.
And then they were asking the very logical question: "Oh, is this going to be?" Because we all sort of believe, if you know the history of werewolf lore, there is a famous case, I believe it was in France, of savage murders that happened that
Right.
were attributed to a man who was like behaving like a wolf, or thought he was a wolf or something, or that just the people were saying it's a wolf man that did this, but it was really just a savage killer. So I could see Robert Eggers taking that material and doing that, but he said that he has filmed this incredibly painful, long transformation sequence that was like part of the reason he wanted to do the movie. But because there's no such thing in the trailer, I've seen people like speculating, not just speculating, is there a real werewolf in this movie? To, I bet there's not. To, that's what's the problem with these elevated horror assholes, is that they get you excited and then they don't give you the goods. And I'm sitting there going like, guys, you're taking a whole trip. You're going around the moon taking a whole trip, and you haven't seen the movie yet, you know? So I feel like that's the case with Clayface. When that first trailer came out, I remember hearing people saying, "Oh, it looks like it's just a guy who mashes his face around. This isn't my Clayface," you know? And it's just like, give them time. They're probably like, don't assume that the teaser trailer is giving it all away or giving you all they've got. That doesn't mean it's a good trailer. That doesn't mean it's a good movie. But it's just, don't assume that they would ever do that in a teaser trailer. But also, sometimes you kind of can just tell, well, they're holding back. Like I would imagine Robert Eggers at this point feels pretty comfortable with the idea that he can lure you in with just his name and the tone, and then save some stuff for you to experience in the theater. And I would think the same would be true of Clayface. But I hate the mentality of like, oh, let's show him as much as we can in the trailer because we want to get him in there. That's how you end up with movies that you go see them and they have no surprises. So anyway, I think it looks fun. And I think that it really almost looks like a movie that could be almost unpleasurable to watch, because it's going to be so much about a miserable person who gets deformed and then turns into a monster. You know, like,
yeah.
But I do wonder too if there's any secrets up the sleeves of that movie. Like, is it going to have any other comic booky elements that we just don't know? You know, or is it really going to be a straight up body horror?
I mean, this trailer, both the trailers I thought were really good trailers. I think a little bit of a peek into what this is about. I think some of the performance looks really interesting too. The guy playing the lead, who I'm not really all that familiar with, he looks very I don't know, I feel like I know him from somewhere else, but I can't really place it. Tom Reese Harris.
Yeah, I don't know what
is he known for? Yeah, The Gentleman. I watched that, so I probably recognize him from that. But yeah, I don't know, nothing else that really stood out to me. But yeah, the trailer's cool. I love the body horror element. And
that
I
thing
don't know,
with
like
the having to cut the eyelid,
cut his eyes, on the airplane.
Yeah, it's
good. Yeah, this is a good situational shots, and it's cool. Like, I like the idea of like revenge being a motivation for this, whatever happened to this guy beyond his face. Clearly somebody has done him wrong besides this transformation he's going through. But cool trailer.
I like the idea that a guy being held down in his bed by several people while somebody like cuts his face up, and you say, clearly someone's done him wrong.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say I don't know what happened to get him into that
No, right. No, no, no.
situation,
I'm with
but I
you.
don't know. I think regardless of what happened, that's probably an extreme response.
Yeah,
I
that's
think we could
probably an
probably
extreme
agree.
response.
Yeah, let's just go there.
But it is true that he's setting him like he's going to be a crime figure potentially in Gotham, right? So it is possible that he did something crooked, or you know what I mean, that there's
Right, right,
some
right, right.
Mm,
he owes somebody money for something that he whatever. So
Sure, sure, sure.
yeah, no, that looks like a. I just hope that I hope it's a tiny bit more fun than I'm expecting it to be based on the trailers. That's the only thing I'm hoping for. Because if
yeah.
it really is just like the trailers, I'll be sitting there going, "Man, this is just like
And and it's also
a
interesting
gross
because like
downer."
it seems like they're really kind of like, and maybe you can, uh, I don't know, explain this better to me, as our resident DC guy. Um, what like it seems like there's so much more acceptance that like this movie is or is not like connected to the Batman, like or is in the same thing, because like Matt Reeves is out there like posting this trailer and
Yeah, but
like
I don't think
Gotham.
it is. This is in
Oh,
James
That's what I'm
Gunn's
saying.
DCU.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah. So if it is or is not, like, it's very like, I know there's like a synergy here and whatever it's called that Matt Reeves is playing with, but like, it is very interesting to me that the guy running this other Batman thing is posting this saying Gotham's newest crime, whatever he says.
yeah.
Like,
No, no, it is a little
I
funny.
forgot what his tweet was, and I was like, so does that mean that like Matt Reeves is like down with this existing, or he's promoting it being in a Gotham but not his Gotham, and
Well, do you think it
it's
has anything to
weird.
do with the fact that his movie just got kicked back to 2028, and now
right.
it's like
I don't know.
he's basically just a guy right now?
I
like
guess.
like he wants to be supportive of it, because what I'd read just this week that actually shed a little light on that situation for me, if you folks are listening and aren't like an industry news wonk, you might not know that there's been a lot of back and forth about like whatever James Gunn's intentions might be for the Batman that will pop up in his universe that he's creating. And then this
Right.
pre-existing thing that Matt Reeves is doing that's well regarded that everybody wants him to continue. I do not doubt for a second the sincerity of James Gunn wanting Matt Reeves to do his thing. Like I don't doubt that he likes that and he wants it to
Yeah, yeah.
continue. But it's been 6 years. It's one of the longest
That's
gaps.
crazy.
Even I think the only gap longer is like between takes. Like I think between Batman and Robin and Batman
Batman
Begins
Begins.
was
Yeah.
the only gap that's longer in
That's
I guess
crazy.
maybe between Batman 66 or whatever that movie whenever that came out, and but yeah.
Sure. That's wild, man.
Right. So it's like it's just a little weird. And even Robert Pattinson has been like, "Yeah, I guess. I'm sure I'll know more sooner or later." So it's odd, but we know Matt Reeves has supposedly gone through some personal stuff, and supposedly he works slow, and supposedly it's important to get this script right. But what I was saying I just heard was that Matt Reeves specifically asked, and again, I'd have to track this information, but that he asked James Gunn not to introduce Batman in the DCU before he does Batman
Really?
2. Yeah. Which is the first I've heard of that. And that's the first I've heard of like, oh, well, that might explain why James Gunn's take has always been like, hey, folks, we're letting Matt Reeves do. Like, a lot of people think that there's like hidden shade in the way that James Gunn talks about it, but I really don't think it is. I don't even think it bears on him that much if Matt Reeves's movie lives or dies or comes out. I mean, I think it's not connected to the thing that they're trying to create with this new stuff, but it is confusing. It is a little confusing.
Very. Yeah.
I don't think it would be confusing if the movies were coming out, but it is strange to go that many years without a Batman when you are setting up a new DC universe, you know? So,
Yeah, that's very weird.
Yeah.
Hmm.
but what do you guys think about that delay? Well, I don't think I really heard from you guys because to me that was just like, okay, well now that's just a thing in the future that we'll just have to see if we're all still alive when it comes out. It just kind of seems crazy that they're filming it now and it comes out almost 2 years from now. Like, okay, get back
Yeah,
to us later.
insane delay. I mean, just in general, like, yeah, I can't believe it. It'll end up being like whatever you said, 8 years to before that movie comes out from the last one. And again, this is like why This is why that like property is hurting, Like I feel like the Batman was we talk about it all the time. Like I love it. It's great. I can't wait to watch more of it. But DC just can't get going. Like I think even like hurting with Supergirl, like being like the bomb of the year probably, and hopefully Clayface, and I mean a much more manageable budget, like very smartly made it seems like, and it seems like there's some great stuff in this movie. So that Clayface being a success would be huge for
Yeah.
them
And
to
it doesn't
whatever
have to be as
scale.
much of a
Yes,
success, right?
100%, 100%. It doesn't need to scale like some of these other movies do, like a Batman movie does. But yeah, it's just that's just yeah, it's just crazy that it's that far between, and it is partially Matt Reeves, I guess, but also maybe getting it right. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I
this
mean,
is this
I believe it, and I
this is the
also
dilemma.
don't. I mean, I believe it, but I'm also like, okay, take your time. But again, it's the personal life issues where I'm like, all right, I can't really understand what might have happened that would have, held him up.
Right.
But what's unusual maybe is that they're letting him take his time, I guess you might say.
100%,
Because,
totally.
um,
Um, I'll throw out Resident Evil. Got a new trailer for that.
yep.
Um, awesome trailer.
Yeah, it looks so
I mean,
fun.
just like so fucking
Yeah.
cool. I love the tone of it. I mean, definitely just the Zach Cregger screams his vibe. Austin Abrams, who like kind of was the standout in weapons, I think, clearly just has the runway in this movie to go for something
Hmm.
that I can't wait to watch. And honestly, to take away from me from the trailer, I didn't even know Paul Walter Hauser was in this
No,
movie.
I didn't either.
And hearing his voice and then seeing him in a shot, I was like, oh, that's fucking cool because I love that dude as
Yeah.
well. And Zach Cherry's also in it. I saw in the press release, so I'm just like, nope, didn't know that. So the little pieces of things that are coming out about it is pretty wild, and just
So it's
makes me
getting all
even.
all the best, like round faced, funny as hell guys.
It seems.
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it totally feels Zach Cregger though, even though it's a different vibe, and I really liked it. But like the camera work and the framing, I feel like he's a very precise visual filmmaker in a lot of ways, and this really feels like it's putting all that momentum and that kind of nonstop
Sure.
aspect. Like I've heard that this movie just kind of starts at the beginning and just keeps going. I just think that looks really fun. Like that's such a different structure than what he's done in the past, but you
Yeah.
can still feel his I don't know, like you said, his tone still comes through even with this material that's really different. I think I've told you I have a dear friend whose like favorite thing is the Resident Evil, like the OG
Yeah.
Resident Evil. So I don't know. I have to find out from him like if he thinks this looks good or not. But I feel like he's skeptical of anybody who says, "Oh, I'm doing it, but I'm kind of doing my own thing." Because apparently there's a lot of lore tied in with Resident Evil that is
There's
really
so
good.
much.
And also apparently no one's ever quite gotten it right with the
No.
adaptations. Is
No.
that what it is?
Yeah, and I mean, so everybody's tried to have some version where they have some of the main characters like Chris and Jill and some of the characters from the later games. But this take is so much more unique. It's just like, what if a regular person was in the middle of the outbreak?
Yeah.
That's so simple. It's a simple idea that I don't know why they didn't do this before. And it's so cool because I'd play a video game that was like that. Like it's nothing stopping a
That's a good
Resident
point.
Evil game from
Yeah.
just being like, what if somebody were to just be in the middle of the raccoon outbreak and experience it from the position of somebody that's in town as it's happening?
Right.
It's a simple, it's such a simple idea that Zach is making look epic, and it's gonna do well. I think at the very least, people that don't even know that this is based off of a video game are gonna go see it, and then the fans are gonna go see it. So maybe it'll convince Capcom to just do like a, hey, what if a guy was just in the middle of the outbreak and make a video game out of it? Because it's a crazy good idea.
Well, it's interesting that you say that they haven't really done that in the game because that feels very gamey. Like it feels
Yeah.
like it follows a game mindset. Because I mean, just from the trailer, I'm like, oh, I bet he's foraging for supplies that he needs and has to find a gun and has to find whatever. And so that feels really video gamey to me, you know?
The shotgun scene is very Resident Evil. It's like the fact that he has a shotgun and the shotgun shells are upstairs and he has to go up there and there's danger. That's so video
Yeah,
game from the early
yeah.
2000s.
It feels smart. I mean, I guess we already know that we think Zach Cregger is a pretty
Oh
smart
yeah, for
filmmaker,
sure,
but that
man.
just feels like a really smart. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like people might be really receptive to this movie if it holds
I
on
think
to the
so
kind
too.
of quality it looks like it has. It seems like it'll be a ride, and I'm kind of impressed at the quickness with which it came out too. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't that long ago that Weapons came out. Was that last year or
Last
year
summer,
before? Was that last year? Wow,
yeah.
busy boy.
Dang.
Yeah, because like during the press rounds for all of the weapon stuff, like Resident Evil was already done, or he was
Right.
in
I
That's
post.
guess
He
I
was
do
wild.
remember
he was
that.
in
I
he
do
was in like
remember.
post on it. He said,
Yeah. And he's also written the script, hasn't he? For is it the Siren Head movie that Brian Duffield
he,
is
he, is he's
directing? Or
directing it? Yeah, I think he's directing it. Duffield is.
and then Zach Cregger wrote
I
it
think Zach Cregger wrote it.
or co-wrote it.
Yeah, I can't remember. Cregger and Brian Duffield are teaming up to write the script, and Duffield is also directing it. Yeah. No, this is like a little triad right here that I'm in love with. Like Zach Cregger, Brian Duffield, Austin Abrams. Brian Duffield has a movie coming out called Whalefall that's supposed to be
Oh
great.
yeah.
That Austin Abrams is in. Um,
Oh,
and
that's him in
Austin's
that
in,
too. Okay,
yeah, Austin's
cool.
in this. It's Craig. I mean, like I love this little thing that's going on here. So yeah, that Siren Head movie has got a lot of buzz, and that's obviously in the wake of some of the the more Gen Z like modern like backroom type thing like that being huge is I think that literally the week that came out it's this that gets announced and it won't be a lot of these things are going to get to the screen now, but it's pretty cool because um the people that they're associating with the are the right people, like to
Yeah,
try to do this stuff is exciting because I think all of the things that Brian Duffield has done, and I want to see him do more. And obviously, we're big fans of. He's also a great follow on Twitter, but uh, and obviously we're big fans of Cregger. So, um, yeah, I can't wait to see Resident Evil. That's also middle of September,
yeah,
like the
coming right
16th or
up.
something. Um, what else we got? We only got two big ones. We got the two big ones left. Let's just do them in order. We
All
have a
right.
new trailer for Spider-Man: Brand New Day, which is it kind of starts out more like a greatest hits kind of like, hey, this is the Tom Holland run as Peter Parker and Spider-Man
Oh,
reminding
I guess
you.
I haven't watched this one,
Remember?
so maybe I'll watch it while you guys are talking about it, and then I'll
Yeah, it's
chime
not
in.
a lot of new scenes, John. It's most of the trailer is like scenes from, Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home, all that stuff.
Oh, they gave him the Tom Cruise memorial reel.
A
Yeah,
bit like,
yeah.
him and the friendships and the relationships and what he did at the end of the last film for those that I forgot. And what he's going to be doing in this film. A lot of what's it, Tillman, Tramell Tillman, from oh my God, my brain is broken today. From oh my God, the Apple TV show, Adam Scott,
Severance.
Severance. A lot of him in this trailer
Yeah,
telling
yeah, yeah.
Peter that he's the only one that can do it. That kind of stuff.
In between the theme, like they like to do. It's like
Yeah,
you gotta do do do. Be responsible. Do do do.
but something just feels right. I don't know. We'll talk more about the next movie, but I feel like something just feels right about the Spider-Man film, and I think some like
We got beef about this.
there's a goodwill towards it. I think there's a really huge want to see it. I think it's going to be off the charts in terms of opening weekend and things like that. And everything that you're seeing, hearing that it's actually a really good movie. And in the least like super entertaining and delivers. But
I hope so.
I'm very excited to see it. In the last few weeks, I've kind of ramped up. Like we got our tickets and we got friends coming to town and we're going to see it with. And um, yeah, I just want to see like again, we're on our text thread, like I just want to really see like a really just enjoy and have fun with a Marvel comic book movie in a theater with a big crowd
Yeah.
again. Um, and I say that having liked a lot of the Marvel stuff since, the end of, Endgame or Infinity War. Like there's a bunch of them that I thought were really good, if not great. Um, but yeah, I want an experience in a theater for a comic book character, and Spider-Man's one of the best. And I think, maybe it looks like what they're setting up for the movie, it could deliver like that. And, the trailer's just kind of selling more of that.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I think John's actually watching it right now, he said. Um, there is the one comment in the trailer where Scorpion's like, "You think I'm Scorpion?" Like, what is that all about? Is that
I
is
don't
it
know,
is there
man.
like a shapeshifter thing going on, or is there like a
I can't
he's
tell if it's
not Scorpion?
I can't tell if it's a shapeshifter thing or is it like that thing where like tech is just being given to people. You know what I mean? Like the
Oh yeah,
cartoon. You know what I mean? It might be before this person thinks like that. Like it's like, oh, I identify as this person because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm known as this thing. And I think also remember
I just
this.
synced it, by the way. Sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to let
I
you know.
think this is also a thing where nobody knows Spider-Man, right? So like this is before all that stuff happens, maybe. So
Okay.
maybe in his universe, he's seen a version of a scorpion before, and this guy's gotten a tech. He's like, I don't know what I'm going to name myself. Yeah, what is he talking about? Because he's already seen one in another dimension. This is the dimension thing that pisses me off.
Are we doing different dimensions, we think, in this movie?
Well, they were
I don't
in the
know.
previous. Well, it's he knows about other dimensions.
I know,
Remember,
but I
he
feel like this is dealing with the ramifications of what he did at the end of
I
the
agree.
last movie
yeah.
in terms of he's been acting as Spider-Man all this time, and everybody knows about
Yeah,
Spider-Man, but they don't know that nobody remembers that he's
that
that.
he's Spider-Man.
So he's kind
But
of like ceased to exist as Peter Parker in his own life. Like
but
I don't know
didn't
if
he?
I need alternate dimensions coming into
But
this.
didn't he already know about the alternate dimensions because he was in the last movie?
Right, but I mean that was the last movie. I just don't know if we're going to deal with anything
No, no, no. There
multidimensional
was a
in it. Oh, there
reference to
was.
him knowing who. What's the guy's name? The villain,
Which
Steve,
villain?
In which movie?
and the new one. Who was he? Was like you think I'm
Scorpion.
Scorpion? Didn't
Yeah,
he know?
but
Didn't
it's
he
just
know
like
Scorpion in the previous one?
Yeah,
well,
Scorpion was.
he's in a post-credit scene,
Yeah, well, we haven't seen him as Scorpion. We've
right?
seen him. Michael Mando went to prison at the end of Homecoming,
Homecoming.
Okay.
and he was a guy who had the tech, and he met Vulture in
Yes,
prison.
in prison.
Yeah.
And then what I'm assuming is in the 4 years since the end of No Way Home, Spider-Man's been active and Scorpion's been active. So that's what I'm getting from that is that like Scorpion's one of the guys that Spider-Man has fought in the time that we haven't seen. And so when he says, "You think I'm Scorpion?" it's like, oh, someone else is posing as Scorpion or has taken over Scorpion or something.
Yeah, like controlling him or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But again,
Yeah.
it's still
Interesting.
it's still nebulous to me, and I think they've given us no information. You know what I mean? Like I don't
Yeah.
think it's a thing we can figure out unless maybe there's a comic story they're following, and I just don't know it. But no, I'm intrigued by this because we still don't have any picture. Even that trailer doesn't like. Obviously, we know a little bit more,
Yeah.
but there's no picture of really who the villain is, and
No,
there's
no.
still a big question mark hovering over who Sadie Sink plays. I wonder if people are assuming too much that she's going to be Jean Grey.
I think they are.
But it almost seems like at this point, why not? I mean, I've heard people say, why would you introduce Jean Grey in a Spider-Man movie? And I don't know if that's quite accurate because they've done that before in the MCU, just had a character cross over and first appear in someone else's movie, you know. But if you were going to bring in a mutant character in a story where Spider-Man seems to be mutating and having new powers or something, I don't know. I feel like it makes a certain kind of sense, but we literally know nothing. So I feel like I don't know where all these assumptions are coming from outside of the fact that I think people think that would be good casting. And I don't disagree. I think Sadie Sink would probably be good as Jean Grey. But I don't know. Do you have a feeling on that, Ronald? Do you think it's Jean Grey, or do you think that it's just there's no?
I don't think it's Jean Grey.
Yeah,
I
but who
think
could it be? If it's not Jean Grey, who do you think it might be?
I think it may be what's her name? Ballet shoes. What's her face? What's the hell is her name?
What's her face? Ballet shoes. That's my
Ballet
favorite
shoes.
cartoon character. Cartoon, comic book character.
The other spider, the woman spider,
Gwen Stacy or Spider Gwen?
Gwen Stacy.
Or Spider?
Yeah, Gwen Stacy. I think
I don't know if they're going to do Gwen Stacy. I don't know. I'm just, yeah, it'll be very intriguing because Gwen Stacy existed in Tobey Maguire's universe.
yes, and also another guy.
Oh, that's right. And so they both had a Gwen Stacy. So I guess you're right. Gwen Stacy could
Yeah,
pop up. She
you
just
know,
doesn't seem like Gwen Stacy because Gwen Stacy's
No,
like the police chief's daughter and all that stuff.
Yeah.
This seems like it might be really we've seen nothing but like a couple of quick shots. We
Yeah.
we know literally nothing, and they've been so coy with it. It almost
Are we getting any other Spider-Mans in this? Do you think?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I think
okay.
they're gonna. I think they
No
want to keep
torch
it clean.
passing.
I
No
think they
torch
want to
passing.
keep it clean. I think the most we might do at the end of this movie is get some sense of finality or something, but I don't even know if that's the case because I think Tom Holland is supposed to be in Secret Wars. So like I don't think they're burning off that character yet, but he has made noise about being willing to hand it off to somebody. So
Don't
But I
do
think
that.
whenever one of these Marvel
No.
movies comes out, people act like 19 different important things are going to happen in the movie,
Yeah.
and I just don't think so. I think you can look at the trailer, and the one thing you can tell is that the story they're dealing with, that they want to hook us with, is the emotional story of what Peter's going through, and then the rest feels like it's going to be thematic around that. And we don't know what it is yet. So it's like really we don't have they've pulled a real marvel by giving us almost no information about the story. And I really do think they're keeping stuff back a little bit. Like this one really feels like one where we just don't know more than a few little pieces. But
I like that. This
Yeah,
might
I
be
do
a
too.
one where we find out something huge that was not shown. Remember that whole thing where like we saw the space in the air, and you're like, there something got cut out of that. And
oh
then
yeah,
they find-
yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that nothing like that happened. Where they're like, oh, there were
Well,
Spider
no,
Mans
there's
in
a
the
spot
air.
in that there's that side view of him jumping at like all the ninjas where people are theorizing there's room in that
There's room in it
for some other character. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what they do. I don't know. I feel like Marvel knows that they're playing that game with the
Yeah.
trailers. So no, but I think that I was watching the trailer when you guys were talking about, but I think I share your general opinions. I'm psyched to see this. We had the whole family. It was a real easy sell. Sometimes when I'm like, Nikki, do you want to see this early? And she's a lot of times she'll be like, yeah, I'll just catch it whenever. You can go see it. And this was a time where I said, hey, does everyone want to see Spider-Man as soon as possible? And they were like, yes, So, and
awesome.
for Henry, it's extremely significant. I mean, he loves this. He loves all the kind of era of the Marvel stuff, and he's a big Guardians fan and so forth. But the Tom Holland Spider-Man is like it's just like special to Henry.
That's
so
awesome.
I can tell that like that hype level is there, and people are somewhat confident in this movie, in a way that they're not confident in another movie. It would seem. Let's go to our final trailer, I guess, of the episode, since this might lead to a broader conversation. I don't know. The Avengers Doomsday trailer, which finally came out. This is the same footage that had been described months ago. There was some like exhibit or convention where they showed footage, and this footage was being described. So I really feel like this trailer, even though it's being called a trailer, it really is more of a teaser than a trailer because we don't get any story from it. We don't really get a lot of shots or scenes or sense of the scope of the thing. What they do with this trailer, I think it's actually extremely calculated what they did with this trailer. And I think it's a calculated risk because I don't think they gave people enough to get people totally psyched. But I do think they hit a couple of beats that they needed to get out there. One of them is if you missed the teaser, whatever those vignettes were that they released earlier in the year, they needed to get that information from those into a trailer. They needed people to know Steve Rogers is coming back, or some form of him is back. Thor is maybe the main character in this. Hey, the Fantastic Four is in Wakanda. Finally. And then the other one is, I really do think they needed people to hear the voice. I think people have to get used to the voice. Whether some people are going to like the voice, some people are not. But I think from a marketing standpoint, if you were making this movie, you'd be like, people, we've got to show them what Doctor Doom looks like, and they've got to hear the voice, because he is doing Nandor from What We Do in the Shadows. That's okay. It can be really cool. It's almost cool to me that Robert Downey Jr. is taking a swing and maybe playing a real character, and not just being like quippy Tony Stark from Evil Town. But I do think they wanted people to get that. And I think there is a lot of reaction I've seen to this trailer that is like mixed negative. And I've seen a little bit of positive. And then I've seen a few people who were just like, oh, gave me the chills of just like, this is coming. I'm excited about this movie. And my feeling is I'm going to see this movie as soon as I can see it. But this trailer didn't really do anything for me. I don't know if it was for me. I really think it was for, as I was saying before, those people who haven't really been tracking what's going on with this movie. And also, it was the day tickets went on sale. So it's like the day tickets went on sale, you want to have some footage. You want to have something that's drawing people in. And they sold like 16 or 17 million in pre-sales within a couple days. So I feel like it probably did what Marvel wants it to do, but I don't think if we were waiting for the Doomsday trailer to be this huge thing that makes everybody feel like we're part of the monoculture again, and Marvel's right there, I don't think it sealed the deal like that. But I do think it kind of finally put this thing on the map, and we're finally starting to see something from it. So I think there'll be another trailer soon that gives us more story and a little bit more of that character hook. Like what I was saying, the Peter Parker stuff, what we're hooked by is like, I like this character. I'm curious about what he's going through. I don't think we're really feeling that yet about Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah. I mean, I feel really weird about this trailer. Like I'm excited to see this movie. Like you just said, John, like I'll see it immediately. It's a long time coming, and I'm very excited to see all these characters together. But we're so spoiled, I think, with how well everything else went with Marvel in terms of setup and building and things like that. And it just seems it feels so haphazard, you know.
Like I said, they're not giving you anything really in that trailer.
I mean, honestly, even beyond what they're giving me in the trailer, like there are dots that you've connected or that you have to connect to say like how we get here.
Oh yeah.
But like to introduce a big bad like this in a movie, you know, in name, when you know that there's been so many things that have been pivoted, away from, like with Kang and what the plan was for all that, and they've had to do this change, which is understandable, like for their decision. But I just think that there's such a weird feeling around seeing so many faces in a trailer and not having a clue as why they should be together.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, there's none of that emotional hook of anything. Like, you see them all standing there like action figures, and they don't even seem to be interacting. It's just a really weird. It's a weird way to go. What do you think, Ronald? Are you getting any?
I gotta backtrack. I did not really like any of the Spider-Man trailers. Not that I love Spider-Man. He's my favorite character, but none of them really excited me, I should say. And I feel very similar about this one. Like I feel like this one feels, if there was, I'm gonna see Spider-Man regardless. If there were to be what this trailer feels like, it feels like a right down the middle, the safest milk toast trailer that you could put out for a movie possible, given the event that's about to occur. That's about to be like 50 characters in this thing, and the ones you show us are the fucking ones from the 2000s. I mean, and look, I'm okay with that, but also show us some new guys. Maybe show us somebody we're not familiar with, like, or maybe somebody that's changed positions, maybe, or like it just feels like showing Cap at the end feels weird. I
No,
mean,
it feels so like
why is this?
it feels
Why
sort
is
of
this?
sweaty. It feels sort of
Yeah,
sweaty. I do think they're setting us up for some kind of reveal there, but
yeah,
it feels weird in the trailer, especially knowing that they look like they're in the space they're in is like a weird
yeah,
space. Do you know what I mean? You can't tell if it's a spaceship or something. It doesn't look. I don't know. It's just like you don't get any story from that.
yeah.
And I thought it looks. He seems a little. I don't know. Maybe his beard is. Maybe he's dyeing his beard too much
Yeah, I
or
think
something.
it's jet black.
Yeah.
It's like all the black dudes that I call it roof tar. It's basically where it's the jet black. You get a little gray. You just like I want to like make it look good, and then it's like almost like an infinite black.
Yeah.
Like
See, I don't have that problem.
I like it. I like I like that it's natural. But yeah, I think that this is something that we've kind of talked about in the past, right? I think Marvel has to win us back, and it's no offense to them. It's not they don't have goodwill with us. They have to earn our attention again, because so many things have our attention. There's the TV superhero stuff, The Boys. I mean, that's over, but people can rewatch those. Somebody can be like, I don't like anything that's going on. I want to rewatch The Boys from the beginning. You know, you have the cartoons that are on the Disney Plus that have your attention. You have Spider Noir that has your attention. It's like all this stuff is kind of pulling you in all these directions. And all we need is someone that understands that you had to get our attention back. Not that it feels arrogant, man. It feels fucking. They've been moving like this for a really long time, but the problem, the issue was they had the content to back it up. A lot of the trailers were like slop. A lot of it was like, you know us. We're Marvel. We make good stuff. Here's these characters. But because they don't have as much of a factory of movies coming out, where we're like, yes, please bring me more movies, because they just stopped. People are like, come on, man, like you gotta earn our money. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with somebody being like, entertain me. I'm not saying like in an asshole arrogant way. It's just people want their money's worth. And if they're gonna go back to this world again, if we're gonna reinvest, it's like a significant other that treats you like shit. They're like, hey, you know what I mean? You gotta win me back, baby. Give me some flowers.
Well, it's an interesting problem though,
It
because
is.
they can't lean too hard on stuff like there's a version of this trailer that would be like front and center Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, Shang-Chi, the Marvels, all these characters we've gotten to know since then that they're like, we can't lean on that. Even if it's a huge part of the movie, they can't lean on that. So they're leaning on all this familiar shit. And I wonder if there's anybody out there that was like electrified and brought in by the Steve reveal. I don't mean intrigued by the story possibilities, whatever kind of goosebumps you might get just from hey, this is coming up pretty soon and it looks like it's going to be big. Whatever those feelings are might be legit, but I don't think that trailer did much to like stoke those feelings or to get anybody back. It really does feel like, I don't know that they've ever been as phoned in as what you were just saying, Ronald, though, but I do think they had a little bit of that swagger that you have when you keep winning. And they don't know what to do now that they don't have that swagger anymore. And it's like, it's wrong not to have some swagger. This is a huge movie with tons of stars. And like, there's no question that there's tons of shit that they've put in this movie that we're not going to see in a trailer, like there's with all these characters, there's no question that there's stuff in the movie,
Yeah.
but it is weird that I don't think they know what to sell it with. I really don't think they do. And that's why they've hit so many nostalgia buttons so hard, not just Chris Evans and Thor's in this, but like showing the OG X-Men so much. It's like, it's almost having the opposite effect of making you feel excited, What it's
Yeah.
making you do is think about, well, how many times have I said goodbye to fucking Professor X at this point?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's died like 3 or 4 times on screen. So I don't know. I do think there is something kind of like, I still believe they have a take and an idea and there may be an actual movie there, but it's so weird that they don't know how to sell it. And it's also a little weird to me that after all this time, this is the footage they chose to show us, you know? Like, it just feels sort of underwhelming compared to, for instance, the Dune Chapter 3 or Part 3 trailer that came out. And if you like those movies and you saw the trailer for Dune Part 3, you instantly thought, oh, this looks like it's the best one. This looks like it might be the best one, you know? I just feel like it's weird that here comes Doomsday and it's on paper, it's huge.
It's
and it
huge,
doesn't
man.
feel like anything. And I do think it's the setup that's missing. Maybe once we know a little more about the story, it'll be a little more exciting. Yeah, I just think it's weird. I just think it's weird that they have had movies that's successful, like Multiverse of Madness made what, 800 million or something like that. And that's like a success they can't even point to because they are afraid of making people think it's going to be too much like that. I don't even think Doctor Strange is in this movie. But I'm just saying, it's just weird that they've had this whole universe and now they're like trying to do the movie they've made that's the biggest integration of all these characters and worlds that they've ever tried. And they're making it look so small. Like, it looks so small in that trailer compared to what we know must be in the movie. So it's just weird. I don't envy the position of like having to get back in people's good graces that way. So that's crazy. I mean, I just think the era is over. I just don't think these movies make, like, I think they want this movie to make 2 billion. And I just think those days are done. You know, I just think those days are done.
You're absolutely right.
And I'm one of the biggest, you know, like, as far as people who've been generally on board for things, I'm forgiving of the overall shape of the universe because I like the characters. I like the soap opera of it.
Sure.
But it is weird that it's the guys who made Endgame, and it's the people are hoping this is the biggest thing since Endgame. You know what I mean? It's just a weird. There's so many familiar little moves there. And by the way, Henry was like, when we watched it the other day, he was like, let's watch the Infinity War trailer just to see. And we watched it. And man, it made us want to watch the movie for the 20th time, you know? So like, they have made great trailers before, and they have had so much good shit, like get this man a shield. I mean, there's just so much stuff in the Infinity War trailer that gave you the good kind of chills. And you look at this and you're like, it doesn't quite feel, even the speech that Thor is giving is kind of like, I've fought with better heroes than you assholes against somebody that wasn't as scary as this villain. It's like, that's a little bit of a weird speech to put in your trailer.
Yeah.
Look at you, scrubs. Tickets on sale now.
I mean, I don't know. Yes, that's true, but that could be an interesting take for the movie.
A very interesting take, but I don't know if the trailer really sells the kind of humor or what you're saying. I think you're right, though.
Yeah, it's an interesting take for the way that he's viewing things.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like, I feel like most moviegoers are going to probably view it the same way. I mean, I don't think these characters have been lived in enough. Most of them have gotten one chance of exposure in the movies.
Yeah.
You know, and now they're like pivotal to Doomsday and eventually Secret Wars. I don't know. It's an uphill battle for this film. I don't think it helps that it comes out against Dune 3 like at the same day. Like, that is so dumb. Like, we've talked about this so many times. Like,
they should call the movie Doomsday.
Yeah, like that'd be more appropriate. Like, what a way to cannibalize your possible return. Like, you need this movie to succeed, and you're gonna like dig in and open it against one of the top 3 or 4 biggest movies of the year. Also, like, just a bad call.
Yeah, it's like
for both movies, to be blunt, but I mean, just a bad call.
Well, it's a bad call, but I mean, at least Dune has all the IMAX screens. And also, I don't think Dune has ever been the lumbering behemoth that squashes all other culture the way that Marvel was for a while there. So it's a little weird for them to make it a showdown with a movie that is going to be highly anticipated and well regarded. It's a weird choice. I think somebody somewhere might have thought, oh, this will be like Barbenheimer, but I think the reason that worked is because it was counter programming.
Counter programming, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the buzz around each made, there was a crossover too. The counter programming was the start, but then the buzz around it was like the opposites had to see the other movie too because of the buzz. Like
Hmm.
everybody that went and saw Barbie on opening weekend and after eventually caught up with the Barbenheimer thing. It was like, well, now I got to go see Oppenheimer too, and
Yeah.
vice versa. So like more people saw these two films than intended to see them because of the buzz that it created by them kind of being that synergy or that complementary release pattern. Like was a big win for 100% for that kind of thing. So, but I don't think that's this at all personally. Like I think this is has a high probability of backfiring. Uh,
Shish kebab.
for everybody. Like it's a interesting, weird thing. So yeah, we'll see how if it backfires or not. But
Maybe,
yeah,
maybe we'll be wrong and it's super successful, but
Well, I mean, there's the subject of box office, which is what we're talking about,
oh yeah,
and then
then it's
there's the subject
quality.
of the movies themselves. So I
Yeah.
expect both movies to be entertaining. Um, I I I I also expect Dune to feel sort of like the end of something, even though I don't know if there's any indication that they intend to go on without Denny. But I know Denny has said this is his last one, and then he's off to make Bond, right?
yeah,
So it's crazy that he's made 3 Dune movies in the time that he
Yeah.
has. So
yeah.
I like that.
It's wild.
It's a little bit like, even though much shorter time frame, but Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy. It's fun when a person who you think of as a real stylist gets to really dig into a world like that.
Yeah,
So yeah, I mean, I can't wait for both movies. Honestly, my curiosity about Doomsday, I still believe, like just based on who's in it, like I'm glad to see Shang-Chi back. Um, I think it's significant that he's one of the faces they show us in the trailer.
Yeah.
I
I
think it's a
mean,
little
yeah, you can
sad
hope
that
so, right?
that they have Paul Rudd, who everybody loves, but they're afraid to market him too hard because Quantumania didn't do well. I mean, that's the kind
Yeah,
of shit I'm talking about, where I don't think Marvel knows
yeah,
what to do. But yeah, I worry about certain characters like the Thunderbolts. I worry about them being underserved in a giant movie because, like the Russos, they juggled a lot of characters well in Infinity War and Endgame, but I don't know that they quite nailed the more whimsical or oddball characters. Like
yeah,
I don't know that they nailed the tone of Guardians or of Ant-Man, and so I wonder if Thunderbolts are gonna feel a little off in this or not. But either way, I'm
yeah.
excited to see those characters. They might be the ones I'm the most excited to see, honestly. I also have a funny feeling that Ant-Man dies in this movie.
Oh
Really?
no.
I just feel like that's what they're gonna do. I feel like they don't feel like. I feel like if Quantum Mania had been a huge success, they would be like, let's keep Paul Rudd in the fold. But I feel like the fact that it
Right.
wasn't, now they're like, oh, let's go for the sympathy kill.
Oh, they said fuck the fold. They're gonna put him in the dirt.
Well, I mean, he kisses his daughter's head in the
He
trailer.
does, man. Yeah.
Oh man, that's not good.
Oh, too many cooks.
Too many characters. They should let that guy direct the next Avengers movie.
Oh my
Doctor
God.
Doom is gonna twist somebody's head off their body.
All right, cool. Well, I think that's our rundown. Um, Reminder, Badlands next week,
Badlands.
required viewing. We'll finally get to it. Ronald, 90 minutes, baby. That's all we need. 90 minutes.
I'll give you a
Uh,
little spoiler, Ronald. I think when you're watching this movie, you're going to say to yourself, am I in the good lands?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
um, so yeah, that'll be next week, and I'm sure we'll talk about some other films we've seen. Um, moviesmovie.com is the website. You can go there to listen to past episodes right on the website, or use it to kind of jump into your podcast platform of choice to subscribe to the audio version of this podcast. If you want other options, youtube.com/movies movie podcast. There you can watch the long videos, the short videos, just audio with just a static image on the screen if you like. And also the home cut, which is Ronald's side quest with Kaleidoscape, which has some new episodes out. So go there, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notifications of when new episodes come out. We would really appreciate it. Again, one last time, next week, we're going to do Badlands for a required viewing. So check it out. It's only $4 to rent on the online platforms. And until then, we'll have a great weekend. Go see a movie, hopefully at the theaters. And as always, you made our day. Thanks.
Ah.